What is up, guys? Welcome to the Trackside Girls podcast, season 2. As always, it is NASCAR first. NASCAR was the only series to run this. Also, I'm sorry to viewers if you guys can hear my cat. She's being very loud. But this past weekend, only NASCAR had races. IndyCar and Formula One will be back this weekend. But let's get into the races. Xfinity and Cup were in Atlanta, which I was there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It was raining on Friday, but luckily they only had to go through Tech. But as for the race, AJ Allmendinger had to go to the rear for unapproved adjustments. Kyle Weatherman had a flat left rear tire and could not complete his qualifying lap. But it was Jesse Love to get the pole. So my pick was looking pretty good, or so I thought. But it was Jesse Love leading with Taylor Gray starting on the inside on the front row. The first caution was for Ryan Sieg, who coasted to a stop on the backstretch, which he actually had to repair a wire. And I believe he actually had to be pushed back to pit road, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm.
But it's Jesse Love on the outside for the restart. Austin Hill actually chose to go behind him. So it was Sheldon Creed onto the front row. Dawson Cram slows on the front stretch with smoke, but luckily is able to make it to pit road. It was Austin Hill fighting with Justin Allgaier with a photo finish, gets the stage 1. AJ Allmendinger leads on the restart, Justin Allgaier inside. Sam Mayer on lap 79 gets turned into the wall by Taylor Gray. Sam Mayer, the rear end ends up lighting on fire and brings out a caution, which brings stage 2 to an end with AJ Allmendinger winning that one. When they come back to the green, it is Taylor Gray on the outside, AJ Allmendinger on the inside. Lap 99, Shane Van Gisbergen gets into the outside wall in 9th to bring out the caution. Chandler Smith leads the restart on the outside. Cole Custer inside. Jeb Burton loses a left rear tire and spins, bringing out a caution. Cole Custer leading on the restart, Taylor Gray on the inside. It actually looked fairly well going for Taylor. Like, there was, like, he was running really strong. Justin Allgaier moves up into Cole Custer and Taylor Gray and spins into the wall. Which it ends up collecting Ryan Sieg, and Jesse Love. And because of this, they had to bring out a red flag. The red flag lasted 15 minutes. So it was a pretty big cleanup.
And also the fact that Riley's bumper was literally just sitting on top of Jesse's car.
Yeah.
And they couldn't get it off because pit road was closed. So he had to ride around with it for a while until they could get it off of him.
But Chandler Smith led the restart, Austin Hill inside. And it was Austin Hill to hold off Parker Kligerman, Chandler Smith, and Corey Heim on the last lap to win.
Whoop-de-doo. Austin Hill can't win a race without wrecking somebody out. AKA, Corey should have won that race. But, Austin Hill doing Austin Hill things, wrecking people out to get the win. Either way, a Georgia person was going to win because Corey's from Georgia. So it doesn't really matter. Either way.
So, some good finishes of the Xfinity race that I want to point out. Mason Maggio finished in 18th in the 35 for Joey Gaze. Blaine Perkins finishing with a 19th for Ryan Sieg Racing. You had Lawless Allen was actually on track for a top 5 finish, but Sammy Smith took a bumper to him, and he tumbled down the order, but still finished, I want to say 13th. So still a pretty good day for Lawless Allen. He was actually running really well. Unfortunately, Dawson Cram was out very early in the race, but there was also a cup race, the first race of the playoffs. They had no practice at Atlanta for either of the series, so it was just straight up qualifying, but Martin Truex, Ty Gibbs, Denny Hamlin to the rear for a plug wire change, which you notice those are all Joe Gibbs cars. And Denny Hamlin was actually way off pace in qualifying due to that plug wire issue. But it was Michael McDowell to get the pole for Atlanta. Ryan Blaney second. It was lap 57 for the first caution for cause. Kyle Larson gets loose and hits the outside wall actually very hard, and it collects Chase Briscoe. It almost as if like the car just snapped and there was no way for him to save it that quick. That car was rough.
Well, when they asked him about it in the interview, he was like, I have no clue. Like, because at first they thought a tire was going down, and then he was like, they don't know what happened to it. Like, at all.
Yeah, so it was pretty hard hit, for sure. But this actually ended the stage under caution, where Ryan Blaney wins stage 1. So first stage of the playoff goes to the reigning champ. On the restart, it is Alex Bowman on the outside, Austin Cindric on the inside. They throw a caution for debris on the front stretch. Under caution on pit road, Tyler Reddick and Carson Hocevar make contact, and Christopher Bell got penalized for pitting outside of his box. When they get going for the green, it is Austin Cindric leading Alex Bowman on the outside. Continuing to lead, Justin Haley actually gets penalized for blocking and forcing Tyler Reddick below the double white line, which it's kind of like the rules at with Atlanta running the way that a super speedway does. It's the same way as the double yellow line, to where you can't go below it. You gotta stay above it. But it is Austin Cindric to win the second stage. So he was dominating a lot of this race. The Penske cars were very, very strong for this weekend. They get going. Ross Chastain restarts on the inside, leading Todd Gilliland on the outside. John Hunter Nemechek spins from 23rd, bringing out the caution. After this, Ty Gibbs is leading on the restart. He also had a very good day. He was running really well. Bubba Wallace on the inside. Chris Buescher gets loose under Ryan Blaney, and they make contact and spin, collecting Martin Truex Jr., bringing out the caution. Which this part, it actually, on the driver's side, rips open part of Ryan's door. So they actually have to tape up that entire side panel. Let's see, Kyle Busch is the leader after this caution on lap 212. William Byron on the outside. Daniel Suarez ends up making it to the lead before they have to throw a caution for debris. Which this is actually the moment that the fence ends up, or the sign from the fence ends up on the track. The other one was just like actual debris. Daniel Suarez chooses the top for the restart. Ty Gibbs on the inside. Noah Gragson spins from 16th after contact with Harrison Burton, bringing out the caution, which causes it to go into overtime. At this moment, Joey Logano is leading. He chooses the inside, where Daniel Suarez chooses the outside, both of them having their teammates behind them for this restart. Joey Logano takes the white flag and wins under caution. They throw the caution right before he hits the start-finish line for the checkered flag because there were people wrecking behind him. Ross Chastain got into the wall, causing a stack-up. Harrison Burton, Denny Hamlin, Bubba Wallace, Cody Ware, Alex Bowman, Todd Gilliland, BJ McLeod, Josh Berry, Eric Jones, and Zane Smith were involved. So I was there. My dad is a huge Joey Logano fan. As I was there for media, I was able, once everybody cleared out, Joey was still up there doing the hat dance. You know how they have to do all the hat sponsors and stuff. So my dad was literally just like standing there, like, you know how almost like a kid standing outside the window of a toy shop, okay? Like, and finally I just go over to these guys watching the gate into the victory lane, and I'm like, hey, can he just stand right there and like on the steps and get some pictures? And the guy's just like, I don't care, go ahead. So my dad got in there, and I was talking to the guy for a minute. He was like, you do know, you have a vest on. If you go over there, nobody's going to say anything to him since you're with him. I'm like, okay, I'll head on over there. And because my dad was standing there, he was able to get a picture with Joey standing in victory lane. Unfortunately, not with the trophy. They had already moved all that stuff. But my dad got to get his picture with Joey in victory lane. So, unfortunately, that means none of our picks were right. I did see Ryan after the race. It was kind of weird. Part of him, like, sometimes he was very smiley, very excited, but also there were other times where he just had this very, like, mad look on his face, like that he was very upset that he did not win the race. And I also even saw Austin after the race, and he, I want to say, finished around 10th or so. But he did get that stage win, so that actually did help him in points. He is 26 points to the good on the cut line now. So if he keeps this up, he's a shoo-in for the next round. But he walked past me because I told him the day before that I was like, hey, me and one of the girls on the podcast picked you for this weekend. So, like, and he's like, I'll see what I can do. I'll try to make it happen. And so I saw him after, and I'm like, aw, man. He's like, yeah, aw, man. But my name's still on the board, so. Because the pylon only goes up to 12, like 12th place. So he was like, my number's still up there, so that's what matters. My dad collected a ridiculous amount of confetti, stuffing his pockets to the brim. My experiences, like, I got to meet a lot of cool photographers. If you guys know, on Instagram, it's Nowhere Fast Corey. I got to meet him. He actually shoots a lot of the photos for Ryan Blaney. And he helps out Spire too, I believe. So officially met him. He told me his name, and the first thing I thought was like, is that guy? Like, is that actually him? Like, and then I happened to sit down next to him in the media center, and I saw all the stickers where it says "Nowhere Fast," and I'm like, wait, is this your thing? Are you Nowhere Fast Corey? And he was like, yeah, nope, that's me. I had to tell him, and I was like, I've been following you for a while, man. Your photography's so good. And then I also met the SHR photographer, Potter. Last name Potter. He starts with a J, but I always mix up his first name. Because I saw, and I'm like, I know you as well. You don't know me, but I know you. I know your work. So it was like just meeting all these people were it was fun. Let's see. I'm trying to think of any like other reaction or like interactions that I had. I showed Harrison my reaction to him winning. I did actually tell him that Lakota like was bawling. That part I did tell him. I didn't tell him you picked him, so I'm like I'll let you do that. Um but I did tell him we were a very happy bunch when he won. Um
Oh, drop to the knees bawling. It
no,
was
I
so
told
bad.
him I was like no, like full on hysterical. Like
It was bad.
um
Love.
let's see. I'm trying to think. Who else did I meet? You know, I always have to see Blaine. I always gotta wish him luck. Oh, so the bracelet that I made Parker, it was at he said it was he was like I had to cut it off. It was at the end of its lifespan. So I told him that I'd make him another one and bring it to Dega. Yeah, good old Cars.
I got beef with him. We rekindled the beef.
Oh no, why?
He said some not very nice things on his podcast on his Twitch stream, and then Molly told me about it. So now he's getting the silent treatment from me at Bristol.
Uh-oh.
I say that now, but I'll probably fold when I see him because I haven't seen him in 3 months. But it's fine. But he said some not nice things about Harrison, so I'm a little salty about that. So now my beef is back with him. That, and he'll probably disown me at Bristol because I have officially gotten my Harrison Wynn Daytona shirt and my Harrison Wynn sweatshirt. And I'll be wearing that at Bristol. And so he won't like it, but I don't really care.
Our segment of reading the group chat. I don't even know what to call it. NASCAR is going to produce a weekly 1-hour NASCAR show to air on True TV throughout the playoffs that will air at 7 p.m. Eastern Time Thursday nights with Shannon Spake, Steve Letarte, Mamba, and Jordan Bianchi, with a rotating panelist, which I'm guessing they bring in different drivers as them. Brad K still has no idea if RFK is going to be expanding or not. And Alex Bowman shuts down the rumors of Alex being removed from the 48 car next season. So originally Denny Hamlin made the comment that they still didn't know where they were at on the charter agreement, which turns out we found out that the two teams that have not signed the charter agreement were 2311 and Front Row, which were two teams that were expecting to expand to 3 cars next season. Truex says he will return with Cole Pearn as his crew chief for the 2025 Daytona 500. Zach Brown says if Pato O'Ward can get an Xfinity ride for Mexico City, they'd allow him to miss this Saturday at Gateway. Who would pick him up? Is Arrow McLaren? Are they Honda or Chevy? I think they're Honda.
I was gonna say, aren't they Honda?
So I would assume that if he were to get an Xfinity ride, it could not be a Chevy team. So who would he run with? Who do you that would give him a decent chance too? Honestly,
I don't know.
Maybe like Sam Hunt car. Oh no, wait. Oh no, I don't know. He might be able to run a Toyota.
I was thinking Joe Gibbs Racing.
Possibly,
but I don't know.
They could potentially put him in like either the 19 or the 20. Who knows? It's June. That's when that race is. So they'll probably start talking about it. Apparently, Kroger is leaving JTG, which was actually their primary sponsor. But apparently, they seemed like they already knew that Kroger was going to be leaving, so it shouldn't affect them. But apparently Ryan Preece had a strong connection with Kroger, so they're saying that it is possible that if RFK decides to expand, that Ryan Preece could potentially go there and bring Kroger with them, which also Buescher had a strong connection with Kroger while he was at JTG. This past weekend was also another Cup race that had a show every green flag lap. I don't know if they're doing that for the rest of the season. I know they were doing it for Daytona, Darlington, and Atlanta. And also again, Lee Diffie on the broadcast again, like he is killing it, like with the way that he does calls and everything. Like he's gaining some traction for sure. You have Ollie Bearman to replace Kevin Magnussen in the Azerbaijan Grand Prix this weekend because of Magnussen's race ban. The statement from 2311 said that they decided not to meet the deadline for the charter agreement and are interested in engaging a constructive discussion with NASCAR to address the issues with that charter agreement. So apparently Richard Childress on the grid before the Xfinity race was asked if he signed the charter agreement, and he confirmed but declined to say anything else about it. So a lot of people are thinking that teams
Richard Childress and Rick Hendrick have both signed it, and they will give no comment on it.
Yeah, so I don't believe they are very happy about it. Hendrick and Arrow McLaren will be making a special announcement tomorrow, Tuesday. So we will speak about that next week. But it's most likely going to announce that Kyle Larson is going to be running the Indy 500 once again.
Which I don't even know why they're going to have this announcement, because when Kyle Larson won his first race back after the Coca-Cola 600 and he tried to do the double, he already announced on TV that he was doing the double next year. And all of the IndyCar people said, see you next year.
Yeah.
Everybody already knows he's running it, so this press conference is stupid. Because everybody already knows, because Larson already announced it to the world that he's doing it next year.
Yeah.
So it's stupid.
So the Xfinity playoffs have not started yet, but there is a very big possibility that both AJ Allmendinger and Sheldon Creed have very good chances to clinch a spot on points at Watkins Glen. And so apparently Dawson Karam signed somewhere. We don't know where. And it says soon. Hey Dawson, when is soon? We need to know. I need a specific date. If I would have known, I would have hunted you down this past weekend and been like, when?
It almost looks like Junior Motorsports, and if it's not Junior Motorsports, it's probably Joe Gibbs Racing. He's probably... I feel like it's one of those two.
I don't know.
But everybody's fully convinced because they were trying to zoom in on the picture on the back.
I did that too, but I can't tell what it is.
That's how they were figuring out where he's going. And there's mix. People think it's Junior, and people think it's Joe Gibbs Racing. Which, honestly, if it's not one of those two, I don't freaking know where. But I think it's one of those two, actually.
I have no idea. Dawson Karam!
Whoa. Molly, that means we'll see Dawson next year.
Mm-hmm.
We have yet to even meet him.
Bro, I see Dawson literally everywhere.
I'm fully convinced that Molly and I have never seen him. I don't even think we have his autograph, and you've seen our wall. We have a lot of autographs.
Yeah.
I don't think we have his autograph. I don't think we've ever met Dawson Cram, and if we did, we had no idea who he was, because he probably was just, like, coming down the line with, like, other people just signing things. But I don't think we've ever met him, actually. I don't think we have.
We'll see. So Joey won the opener for the Cup playoffs, which it is an even year. Since 2014, Joey Logano has been in the playoffs every even year. So we'll see.
But also this year for the playoffs, I'm just really confused because who would ever thought that Chase Briscoe and Harrison would have won their race to actually win to get into the playoffs. So honestly, this playoff year is confusing, especially since last year Joey was out of the playoffs and now he made it to the next round of the playoffs and he didn't last year. I'm confused on the playoffs this year.
So this is Austin Hill's win for this weekend. Actually, he swept both both Atlanta races, which I completely forgot that he won the Atlanta Xfinity race earlier this year. Completely forgot, to be honest. Now time to talk about this weekend. Like I said, all three of the sports that we talk about are going to be racing. NASCAR is going to be at Watkins Glen, which Juan Pablo Montoya is going to be back.
I forgot he was coming back for that race.
Yep.
What car is he driving? I don't know.
2311?
Is it 20? I think it is. Yeah, I think it is.
Is it? Oh.
The 50. Yes.
He's driving the 50 car.
2311.
Look at Molly know her stuff. I'm over here like, I didn't know he was driving. I forgot. They announced it like months ago, and I'm like, I don't know.
But it is another off weekend for trucks. So they will not be racing until Bristol.
Let's go, baby!
But Xfinity and Cup are going to be at Watkins Glen. So, who do we got?
Sam Mayer and Jesse Love.
I have Cole and Justin.
Okay.
Solid.
There's a couple of looks like new names on the schedule in the 13 and 14. You got William Byron coming back in the 17, Ty Gibbs in the 19, Eric Almirola in the 20.
Boo.
Austin Green is coming back. I believe his last appearance was Sonoma. He had a pretty good finish. There. Kyle Weatherman is going to be driving the 36. Jordan Anderson is going to have another entry under the 87. Connor Zilich is going to be in the 88.
Let's go, Connor.
Ross Chastain is going to be in the 92.
Puke.
Alon Day in the 45. Okay. Now I'm going to make my picks. Who do I want to pick?
This is the last time that the Cup drivers are going to be driving for Xfinity. They can't do it anymore after this race.
Because of the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Which that makes me deep down inside.
I think I might. Honestly, I think I might pull a Connor for my long shot.
I mean, I can't say that's a bad choice. That's actually he might do good. Actually.
Trying to think of another road course racer.
Wait, does that mean that
AJ Allmendinger? No, Shane. I'm going Shane winner, Connor long shot.
Does that mean that Lawless is just going to be in the 15? Because it normally switches back between Lawless, Josh Berry, and Joey Logano.
Joey's in it this
Joey's in it. Joey's in it this weekend.
I'm talking about after, when the Cup drivers can't race in the 15 car anymore. Is it just going to be Lawless in it then? Because Lawless isn't in the playoffs.
I can't say.
That's what I think. But I don't know.
All right. So yeah, I'm gonna go Shane winner, Connor Zilich long shot. For the Cup race. You know, what if I did a Juan Pablo Montoya? What if?
Is that who you're going with?
What if?
I have Tyler Reddick winner and Carson long shot.
Okay. Lakota, who do you have?
This might be a shock. I have Chase Elliott as the winner and Ty Gibbs as a long shot.
Okay.
I've never seen that man's name before.
I'm gonna go again. I'm gonna go Shane and Juan Pablo Montoya.
Okay.
Like that's my attempt. Now, so IndyCar is actually coming to an end. So their last race is Nashville, which is this weekend. It is their season closer. So we have to choose our winner and long shots of Nashville in general, and then we're gonna choose who we think is the champion. Who we think is going to win on points. So, first, who do we have for the Nashville race? They have been racing on the streets of Nashville for the past couple of years, but they're back at Nashville Super Speedway. I honestly kind of wanted Joseph Newgarden because he lives there. Just because.
I have Joseph and Pato.
Okay.
I have Scott Dixon and Joseph.
Okay. I'm gonna go Joseph. I wanna go Will Power because he is very close on points. He's 33 behind Alex Palou for the championship. So, who do we think is actually going to win the championship? I want Will Power really bad, but I have a feeling it's going to be Alex Palou.
I was also kind of thinking the same thing. Penske, unite.
Yeah. Is that all three of our general consensus? We want Will Power, but we think it's gonna be Alex Palou.
I think that's all of our answers right there. We want willpower.
Okay. Alrighty. So the last event, Baku. Ooh. So it's a street course. I don't think you'd ever hear these words come out of my mouth. I feel like both of you guys are gonna be very shocked when I say this. I'm gonna say Checo Perez.
Okay. Let's go.
He's quote unquote king of the streets. So let's make it happen. Red Bull need a constructors championship. He needs to start pulling his weight. Okay. I'm gonna go, and then it's most likely gonna be a McLaren. Hopefully Lando because he needs to gain on the championship.
I have Lando and Oscar.
Yeah, and I got Carl's and Lando.
Okay. All right. Well, I think that's it. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. This has been the Trackside Girls podcast. Let's see. I don't have a Joey car with me. My dad's got all the Joey cars. Yeah, unfortunately. I can't match this week. I don't have any Joey cars. But let's do this. Let's do this outro. You guys ready?
Yep.
It goes peace, love, and race cars. What do you? Okay, so you have the body armor car. Lakota? What do you have?
My little Sammy car. I got my little Sammy TMC car because Lionel is rude and wants to freaking cancel all my orders. And I hate them.
All right.
They suck.
Either way, good night, everybody.
Peace out. Good night.